I took some time off. It's been pretty dark. The kind of dark that wouldn't have felt right to make a video just kind of chumming along talking about reviews from the past. I'm coming back to it now, but it's the kind of dark that makes you want to tell everyone that, to tell everyone that you love them, just so that they know it. And where, of course, I want to say that anyone within earshot of this video, whoever you are, if you want to talk, I want to talk to you. So reach out if you want to talk. Because we need to connect more, for sure. So, and that's kind of what I'm making these videos for, is to connect more. So even through the darkness, I want to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep making them. And it helps that the book that I'm going to talk about this week is totally an example of why I'm doing this in the first place. So I'm talking about The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. I read it in 2010 at a super pivotal point in my life, and I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. My motivation for reading this is a little sad, but I expected a lot from it. I just thought I should know Ayn Rand and what she is through her writing. I thought it was important to get an idea of objectivism, and I was intrigued by the people that described her writing as a Bible for libertarians. The Fountainhead is a great book for anyone who wants to learn about these things. Rand is so heavy-handed in her chosen philosophy that at times you feel the themes are jumping out at you, underlined, italicized, and highlighted. Now, personally, I don't particularly like that, even though it accomplished my admittedly lame reasons for picking up the book in the first place. It's clear what she favors, and I disliked being repeatedly slapped in the face with it. I also found that the dialogue was muddled and confusing, whether it was used for long-winded theatrical speeches or short bursts of subtextual sarcasm. Regularly, I found myself reading back to try and understand which voice was speaking. But all in all, my biggest complaint with the book was that she initially describes the characters as hyperhuman and fantastic in their traits, behaviors, and resolve. In almost every case, excepting her hero, each character seems to devolve into something weak and utterly mortal. While some readers may find this realistic or accurate, it left me feeling manipulated for the sake of Rand's motivations. I took a leap of faith with Rand early in the book to accept these characters as more than something. And when they became below average, I couldn't believe it. I kept waiting for them to revert to their earlier descriptions, and they all failed, save for one. That was tough for me to swallow. And quite honestly, the least uplifting thing I could hang my hat on during a life period where I kind of needed one. I do think people should read Rand. I'm glad I did. My initial feelings seemed correct in that it is important to know what she's talking about. In my case, I just didn't like it that much. So the context for reading this book was in the fall of 2010, and I was making this huge life shift, leaving Los Angeles and moving to the Pacific Northwest, to Portland, and taking some risks to do it too, leaving a network TV job to come to Portland for a network TV job, but for far less time, far less money. It was part-time. And the thing that I thought, the concept of libertarianism that I was hoping for was this sort of inspiring thing of choosing yourself, choosing your path in it. And it really felt sort of telegraphed that it was all sort of just favoring this one character, this one person, this one concept. And I didn't connect with it. I didn't connect with Rourke. I didn't connect. It didn't feel like it could be me. And I think objectively, and I'm not a libertarian, but objectively, my belief about libertarianism before I came to this was the fact that everyone has the opportunity to succeed to follow that dream, to grow with that. And I think ideally that's what the text is supposed to say in the case of the hero. But again, I didn't connect to the hero. And so I felt like she was gatekeeping. I felt like she was keeping me outside this sort of philosophy that she championed, as opposed to bringing me in and connecting it with it. Now, I think other people will read this and feel completely different. I think there's a huge number of people who follow her philosophy and believe in the stories she tells in a way to sort of become a metaphor for the way that they want to experience the world and the way that they want to grow in the world. But for me, it wasn't that. And for me, it also made me feel, I guess I identified with a lot of the people that were being left behind, or that were crumbling in the face of the success of the hero. And that was really tough for me at this time in my life. So so I read The Fountainhead. It's the only Rand that I've read, and I don't think I'll read another, because I was looking for something uplifting. I was looking for a philosophy or some sort of connection, some sort of story that I could reach out to. But I understand why it would be right for other people. For me, at this super important time in my life, it just led the wrong direction. I won't say that it was demotivating, but I was looking for something that was going to give me a lift, and it definitely wasn't. So 2010, loaded with books. There's so many books here in 2010 that I'm reading, probably as I'm traveling to LA, to Portland, and all the different production jobs that I was doing too. Lots of reading on lots of planes. Not every year is like this, but this year I picked up The Fountainhead looking for a little guidance and was left on the outside. So 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I read The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand in 2010. And there's going to be more. There'll be more and more inspiring things to come. Just to reiterate what I said at the beginning, if you need to talk, reach out, because I definitely want to. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking in this way, for you, to you, about all this stuff with us. All right, till next.